What are your top 3 offensive red? So first and foremost, you guys know where we're going with this. My favorite number one option in the red zone. Let's just reset the question real quick. We are going to take a look at right here from Big 411. He says, "What are the top 3 offensive red zone concepts in Madden NFL 17?" So we're going to take a look here at the gun bunch quad, and it's called bunch trail is the play, but more so the concept with air quotes around it that I find is most effective is throwing high point passes to posts. So that, for the example here, would be this route to hill. So basically, I find corners and I motion them across the field, and I utilize them as a post, and then I throw a high point pass to them. Now, Hill's not the best option because he's not very tall. So let me go out and find a taller guy. Maybe Travis Kelce could be a better option. But I love throwing these posts in the back of the end zone, and I've had great success with doing it. So let's take a look at our receivers. Let's just get Kelce out of there and put him in. All right, so here's bunch trail. Gonna do the same thing here. And notice Kelce over there, he's on a corner pattern. So you can find a lot of these corners really at any formation. My recommendation would be to smart route the corner, and then from there, motion him across the field. Now, from here, let him set. When he gets about like over the middle of the field, hold LB and then hold LB and then throw a bullet pass to the tight end. What makes this effective is you're putting the ball in a spot where only the tight end, can get it. And it's really hard for the defense to make a play on the ball because of how high you're throwing the ball. Now, you will drop the ball, no pun intended, but you will drop the ball sometimes. You really want to look at guys that have good height, catching traffic, and spectacular catch. I think one of the best guys in the game for this right now is the Gold King Kelvin Benjamin. He's 6'5", 6'6", and he's got like 91 spectacular catch and 90 catching traffic. So he's a really good option for it. So that's my first recommendation. Like, it's really any route that kind of gets like in that deep post territory. So like this route to Kelce here, like you're going to still have success with him. As soon as he cuts there, like that's tough. That's really difficult for your opponent to have to defend. So just keep that in mind. You really want to throw these posts. You want to get them in the back of the end zone, deliver a high point pass, because it's really hard. Like, that's how the defense has to win. They have to get like an animation where they break the play up. They're usually not going to get their ugly paws or mitts on the pass upfield. So, and if you've watched me play, like you've seen me throw that route a million times. It's literally where I go. I'm actually starting to see how much more effective this bunch one is. Like this route's really kind of good. Like he gets it over the defender's head, and then you have to just hope that he's gonna miss it. Like, what makes this effective is you think it's covered. Like, take a look. Like if you're your opponent here, like you think this is covered, but you deliver a high point ball. Like, for all intents and purposes, Jenkins has got this covered. Excuse me. Jenkins has got this covered, but because it's a high point pass, he doesn't get to cover it. So if I were to throw that same ball and just throw a bullet pass, you can see how it's going to get picked off. So that's where the high point comes into play. Let's take a look. A question in the mailbag says, what about, in the chat says, what about a high-routed slant? Let's take a look at Macklin. If Macklin gets depth, yeah, it's going to be good. Like, right there, no. Right about there, pretty good. Like, right there, good. Not great, but good. But you can see how much longer it takes for it to develop. It takes too long, and you're going to run the risk of getting sacked. So, what are the other good passing concepts you like out of this? Well, this right here is more of a flood. This is called the Holland's Bunch. So the Holland's Bunch is really good, and let's take a look at what this is. So, if you take a look at a gun bunch formation, and you look at the play verticals, that's the play you want to take a look at. Excuse me. So, the play verticals. What you're going to see here is Macklin. Macklin pulls the outside defense away. Like, Macklin's attention is going to pull any flat route, any any flat pattern off that left edge. So then what you do here is you put Kelsey on the backside, run out to that same part of the field, and you're going to see the defense drifts away from it, and then there's a passing lane right there for you to throw into. So let's show you that again. So here's Kelsey. You see how the defense drifts away, and then you get it to your big tight end who falls forward for a touchdown. So this is a Holland's bunch. This is just using route spacing to win. The zone defender chucks right there. He gets outside leverage, and then Kelsey falls forward. I really, really like this. A lot of guys, as Outlander's saying in the chat, is if you do an L trigger low pass is also really effective as well. Like if you go like a slant and a low pass, like that's really effective because, again, you're putting the ball where the defense is going to have a very difficult time to defend it. So like, here's a slant right there. Like that's really tough for the defense to defend. Here's again. Backside slant, I'm holding left trigger, and I'm throwing a bullet pass. And it's low, and it gets into a spot where it's hard for the defense to defend against. I'll show you again. Here's the slant, left trigger throw, bullet pass, and I'm putting the ball right where it's really difficult for my opponent to really defend the play. So let's try it on a different part of the field. Let's try it to Kelsey here. Oh, I literally threw it into the back of the guy's head. Bang. So those would be my three passing ways I would recommend. I like the high point, I like the low ball, and I like the Holland's bunch to flood the zone on that part of the field. You can see here again one more time. That wheel pulls the outside defender away and opens space up for that out pattern.